Gee, thank you, Chucky. Hi, I'm here at Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza in Union, New Jersey with my pal Chuck E. Cheese. Gee, and you know something? I really love going on these mechanical horse rides. They're a lot of fun, aren't they, Chucky? You know, mechanical kiddie rides such as these are pretty much everywhere. You can find them in family entertainment centers and restaurants, like Chuck E. Cheese's. And you can also find them in video arcades, amusement parks, theme parks, and even in front of your local neighborhood corner store. But several months ago, it looked as if these kinds of rides were going to disappear from New York City sidewalks. Why? Well, a number of reasons, or so it had been said. The mayor and the city council people at City Hall wanted to sweep the sidewalks clean of any amusement machines that might clutter up public walkways, and at the same time raise money by finding store owners that had these rides in front of their businesses. So, last year, the mayor and the city council passed an ordinance banning horse and other kiddie rides that stuck out in front of storefronts by more than 3 feet. And it also increased the fines that these store owners would have to pay if they were in violation. So suddenly, shopkeepers that stabled these horses and other similar rides outside were being bombarded with tickets by the Department of Sanitation for obstructing the sidewalk. So quicker than you can say, "Hi-yo, Silver!" these rides almost completely disappeared from the neighborhoods.
Soon after this sidewalk ordinance went into effect, we took our cameras around town to see if there were any brave steeds or other rides still looking for young customers outdoors. Up and down Steinway Street in Astoria, Queens, a shopping area once lined with a dozen coin-operated rides, we could only find a couple of tiny elephants guarding 2 stores, one of which was obviously pulled halfway into the store entranceway to avoid sticking out onto the sidewalk. In Manhattan, we were still able to locate at least a couple of bigger horses and other rides standing their ground on the west side.
You know, Chucky, come to think of it, if kiddie rides on the sidewalks were limited to just 3 feet, then they would just be too small for a rabbit like me to ride. And to be honest with you, Chucky, I don't think that those really tiny mechanical amusements give a very exciting ride anyway. I much would rather ride a big horse, you know, like the one you have here.
As a matter of fact, this was not even the first time that sidewalk kiddie rides became under attack by city government. Back in 1987, a longtime shopkeeper out in Ridgewood, Queens, was ticketed and fined by the City Department of Consumer Affairs for having an unlicensed horsey ride in front of his variety store. Like today, the story made the papers and the local TV news. And even way back in the early part of the century, wagon-mounted traveling merry-go-rounds roamed the city streets to the delight of neighborhood kids, until municipal ordinances pulled in the reins on these rides.
The City Council moved Wednesday to end a crackdown on sidewalk kiddie rides.
New York One News recently reported that the City Council had amended their ordinance from last year and lifted the ban on sidewalk kiddie rides. But either the word has not gotten down to the City Department of Sanitation, or they might have other ideas. We talked by phone with a Sanitation Department representative speaking for their press officer, Lucia Chalfin.
take us down. It's not complicated, really. Okay, well, essentially, regarding the sidewalk kiddie ride issue, I'm trying to get some clarification about first of all, how this all got started, because the news media, the TV, and the print news, they've been, like, giving conflicting stories, okay? Some say it was because the city council passed an ordinance last year about about cleaning the sidewalks clear of these devices. Some say it was an ordinance passed in the 80s. Some people say it was Mayor Giuliani's effort to increase ticket revenue. Okay, so I need to know what is exactly the story with that.
Okay. The part about the mayor increasing the ticket revenue, that was just plain nonsense.
Okay, so that is not true. Although the perception is always running rampant.
Well, city council did pass a law last year. Yes, that's true. And
the second thing is, what is the current status of that ordinance and your level of enforcement of it? Because it was reported, therefore, that the city council had met to amend that ordinance to exempt the kiddie rides, which would supposedly eliminate the problem.
okay, so what status of the enforcement of the tickets for the kiddie ride?
Yes, as of that, because supposedly they took action again to repair the problem.
Okay, the thing of it is, it's not anything that is obstructing, whether it's into a table or a kiddie ride or whatever it is, will be ticketed. It wasn't because it's a kiddie ride, but because it was an obstruction.
The 3-foot rule?
Beg your pardon?
The 3-foot rule?
Yes, it was an obstruction. So that's why it was ticketed, not because it was a kiddie ride.
No, but if they say took a right and turned it sideways so it's against the storefront, that would be illegal then?
I can't say that would be legal. It depends on,
how wide it is.
Yes. I can't say it would be legal.
And then the third question is the Department of is there any other city agency besides the Department of Sanitation have any jurisdiction over these rides in front of stores? This is going to come up again because in another city agency might have a problem with these rides. Okay, so that's essentially...
Any other agency that's allowed to write a summons, like the police department, the health department, or whatever, yes, they can also ticket. It's just that sanitation or ticketing.
Oh. That's right.
Obstruction. Well, obstruction.
See, now, the Department of Consumer Affairs, therefore, can still require the stores to license these things, which is probably what that case was, too, because that was, it was unusual. The Department of Consumer Affairs ticketing something, but this is 9 years ago, and I think people forgot about that, because that made the news also. In fact, it was Daily News.
Okay, well, that when he said you'd have to talk with the Daily News, he knows nothing about that.
Okay, but, okay, listen, thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate your response.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's a really sad state of affairs when City Hall overshoots whatever good civic intentions they may have and deprives New York's kids of some good, wholesome, and fun amusement that these mechanical rides offer. For many of these kids, a gentle rock on a coin-operated make-believe pony may be the closest thing they'll ever get to a ride on a real horse. I certainly know this from personal experience. Even I don't get to ride a real horse very much because it's a really very expensive sport to take part in.
So hopefully, if cooler heads prevail, not too far in the future, you will once again be able to drop your quarters into the slot and go for a make-believe and fun horsey ride right in front of your own corner store. Just like I'm doing here at Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza with my pal Chuck E. Cheese. So, from Union, New Jersey, Rabbit T. Rabbit, stay tuned for more of the show.
And as long as I'm here, Chucky, you got any more tokens?
Thanks. Giddy up, horsey.